Hey everybody, my name is Ashley Rush and I'm an independent creative memories advisor located in North Carolina. Today I am back with you kind of doing a hybrid of two video series that you guys seem to really enjoy. So one of them is recreating a sketch from the CM sketchbook and one of them is create with me. So I'm kind of doing both this time. I obviously have taken the sketchbook and then this time, instead of just wham bam, cut here, cut there, you get a little bit of my thought process, how I'm thinking through, how I'm interpreting the sketch. So yeah, it's not perfect. Very little of what I do is perfect, but I hope you guys enjoy either way. To get started, I am using the 110 scrapbooking ideas and sketches. This was a promo item. It was never for sale. If you want to get your hands on one, I am giving them out to my new team members. I also have just some bits left over from my Sweet Summer collection, my 12-inch trimmer, a tape runner. I might be pulling in the border maker system, although I could maybe use a sticker or a laser border. I guess we'll see. I have already flipped through my idea book and I landed on page 75. So this is a one-page layout that can be used with 4 to 5 photos. Well, in this case, 4. But this one you can easily turn into a 2-page spread. I'm going to do it as a 1, but I'll talk about turning it into a 2 at the end. And I also thought this one would be fun to talk about a fun paper saving technique. So as you can see, this the background is in 2 tones. So there's 2 different pieces of paper here. You can do that 2 ways. You can take a full sheet of paper, and then let's see, I've got some half sheets here. You could take a full sheet of paper, make a half sheet of paper, and just put that on top. I'm going to show you guys how I save paper by doing it another way. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to work on the background first, and then I'm going to go in and find some scraps and some mats, and we're just going to build this one piece at a time. I probably could go back and look at the blog and find the instructions, but I think sometimes it's fun to just, wing it and look at the pictures and kind of figure it out. All right, so I'm going to start, I want a full sheet. I'm going to start with this really bright orange sunshine with popsicles on the reverse side. I'm going to bring over my 12-inch trimmer and I'm going to cut this in half. So I want a 6-inch cut. All right, so just like that, I have 2 pieces. I'm actually going to use this part as my base. Set some of my other papers aside for a minute. And this is, like I said, going to be my base. I'm going to flip one side over. Then that is going to resemble the background that I have in my sketch. See how it's 2-toned? Now, as I said before, I'm going to save paper. So I'm going to do something called welding, which means in order to make this a nice freestanding page, you could build this straight onto your refill page, but what if you're using slide-ins, pocket pages? You're not going to be able to just slide this in because it'll fall apart. So I'm going to take some scraps. This is from my lemon video last week, and I'm just going to cut this in half. I'm not even necessarily worried about half. Maybe I should have been a little worried, but whatever. And I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to line my papers up. Then I'm going to take my scrap sheet of cardstock. You can do this with designer paper, but cardstock is a little heavier. And I'm putting a healthy amount of tape runner on here. All right. Again, you're gonna make sure that your pieces are lined up. And then I'm just going to lay my cardstock there. You can see this cardstock has a chunk missing from it. That's okay. I'm just trying to find a way to hold it together. You guys can see that I've done that. So I have this other piece. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one in half. Let's see. And I'm just going to give myself some reinforcement over here on the edges. Again, a healthy amount of tape runner is good. Normally I say use a sparing amount, but when you're using it to keep things together, you need a little extra. Now, why did I weld? Remember, I welded because this means I can keep this page freestanding. See, now I'm holding by just one edge. I can keep this paper freestanding, put it into a pocket page, or actually have a drawer full of pre-done layouts that I use until I'm ready. If you already know exactly where it's going in your book, and perhaps you're using our traditional refill pages, you could just tape this piece down to your page and that piece down to your page and be done. All right, so we've welded ourselves a 12 by 12 background. I feel like that's already a big, huge part of our sketch. So I'm pulling the sketch back out. I've got two photos here, and if we're saying that this is 6 inches and that's 6 inches, we know that our photos are not quite a 4 by 6. We've got maybe like 1/4 of an inch on either side. So I'm gonna say that that's maybe a 5.5 inch photo. And if we're taking some off the top, let's take some off the sides. So I'm gonna say that these mats are 3.75 by 5.5. So I need to get some mats. In our sketch, they didn't have to match. They were all a little different. Let's see. I think it would be fun. What if I used one of our variety mat packs as one of those spots instead of a photo? Have a built-in title area. Let's see if we have any that work with this paper selection. I pulled out our 4 by 6s because I feel like that's going to be easier. Right off the bat, I have a good choice here. Just a little bit of trimming. Fun in the sun. Yeah, I mean, I like how it pops. Ooh, so I've got two popsicle ones. I don't know. I like both. I like the pop on this one. I like how this one blends with this orange. I'm going to go with this one since it's got the exact matches of the pineapples behind us. So again, I'm going to pull out my trimmer. I said 5.5. Which means I need to take 1/4 inch off each side. If you come to the end of your gray mat in the cutting area, that is 1/4 of an inch. All right, and then I'm going to flip that over. And the very edge of your trimmer before you open up the arm is also a 5.5. I think that one looks really cute. Now we need to take 1/4 of an inch off total here. So what? 1/2 of 1/4 is 1/8. So that'll be fun. All right, so at 4, I want it eventually at 375. So I'll take it in a 1/4 of an inch, or an 1/8 of an inch there. Which, if you're looking at your trimmer, this first dotted line is your cut line. The next dotted line is an 1/8 of an inch. And now I should be able to just take it to the 375. So fun. We've got our little title piece there. I'm cheating it in about equal parts from the top, bottom, and side. Now I just need 3 more mats, and then we're going to need some scrap pieces. So let me find 3 pieces that can serve as our mats. So off camera, I found 3 more mat pieces. Again, these are 3 3/4 or 3.75 by 5.5. I'm just going to put them in their spots. So these mats, they do touch. They go right next to each other, no space in between. All right, super fun. I'm not sure if I'm married to this purple. I feel like it's kind of jarring. Looks more jarring on the screen as I'm watching than it does in person, but I can always switch that out in a little bit. Let's work on our scrap pieces. So I'll show you here. We have done our backgrounds, we've done our mats. These dark rectangles are going to be the photos. And then as you can see, they've got just like multicolored sections here on the side. Now, again, I'm just kind of doing some mental math. To me, it looks like, you know, we've got like a good solid inch here. If we're saying that this is, you know, 1/2 inch, this looks a little skinnier than our piece here. And there's 5, so there's maybe about, if they're the same height, which they are, these pieces are going to be 1.1 inches tall and let's say like 3 inches wide. Now the thing is, 1.1 inches is kind of hard. So I think I'm gonna do like 3 strips that are 1 inch and then maybe 2 strips that are 1.25 inches. That way when you add them up, 1.25 and 1.25 is 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. So this is just how I kind of work through things in my head. We'll see if it works out. So I need to find scrap sheets. So let me pull some of this aside. I'm going to take a piece of this, like, I was going to say sunset. There's no sunset here. This, like, beach scene on one side, and it's got sea stars on the other. I'm just going to make a 1.5 inch cut. All right. And then I think I might also take... I'm going to take this piece and I'm also going to make a 1.5, and actually it should have been 1 1/4. 1.5 is fine. We can always trim later. But this one, I'm going to go ahead and take a 1 1/4 inch cut. Now with these strips, I'm going to make a 3 inch cut. And do the same over here. So this is a great way to use up your little scraps. This whole layout is great when you only have a few sheets of paper left in a collection and you're trying to use them up. So the next thing I'm going to do, I actually have a bunch of other scraps left over from another layout. I'm just going to combine those, and all in all we need 10 strips. 2 of them are going to be 1 1/4 and the other 3 are going to be 1 inches. And I'm just going to see if I can find, you know, a layout that works over here. As I'm working through this, I think part of the problem is that I have like these rando dark blues that don't come anywhere else in the thing, and then this dark purple. So I'm going to switch this one out. I'm going to make this soft cloud one. Again, we're doing 3.75. Give that a turn, and I'm doing 5.5. I think that makes me a little more happy. Ooh, here we go. All right, I am much more happy with that. Now I'm just going to go through, some of these are too thick. So I think, as I said, there's going to be 3 1-inch pieces in the middle, and then a 1 1/4 inch piece on the end. And I'm going to just trim those up, get them laid out. I think I'm going to corner round over here, and then I'll start adhering. All right, and just like that, we are finished. So here, again, this was made to have room for 4 photos, but I put my title in one of the spots. There's still a little room for journaling there. And then we've got room for 3 3.5 by 5 1/4 photos. Super cute. Like I said, the cool thing with this layout is that it's really great for using up pieces that you have left over. I don't know if you guys saw, like, some of my pieces. This is from that sheet. Remember a couple weeks ago I cut out, and I was trying to cut out like a middle square, and then I realized I was using a piece of paper that wasn't really great front and back. I think it was my Peekaboo Pocket video. So I'd already cut into that and made weird cuts. So the paper was kind of ruined, but I was able to cut it apart and reuse some of the scraps. I used a single sheet of 12 by 12 here. I think the only thing I'm missing is they had a border maker punch that they did one 12-inch strip, and they went like here, and they cut it in half, and they did here. Let's see, instead of doing border maker, what if I did... I've got these 2 laser borders left, so I could put that there and cut it in half. Or do the darker green. I kind of like the lighter one. All right, so let's cut that in half. Meant to do 6 inches up one side, 6 inches down another. I don't know, what do you guys think of that? So if you didn't use a variety map pack here, you would also obviously have room for a fourth photo, and you can use these scraps on the sides for titling in or journaling in, especially parts that are lighter than other pieces. And then we've got, obviously we need to put in our embellishments, so you could put them up in this upper corner, sort of down here in the middle on the right around the edge of this one, and then maybe at the top corner of this photo. Right, I'm going to work on a second piece or second layout using an identical sketch, but it's not going to be a match for this, but hopefully I can use that and demonstrate how we would match it up. Right, here is the second layout that I whipped up. On this one, I used a little bit more of a repeating pattern, or at least the same colors in my strips. That was more about what I had left over and less about, you know, trying to create a pattern. I used the same size photos here. This time I gave a journaling box instead of a titling section. But of course, you know, you can always cover those up if you decide that you don't need them. Now let's talk about how to make this a 2-page spread. So you can do this 2 ways. You can do it exactly as it is. Let me just layer that. As you guys can see on this one, I've got a little bit of a hangover for the threads. That's okay. You'll just come back with your scissors, your trimmers, and trim that out. So here I've done the exact same layout. I've no twisting, no turning, whatever. And it's just title, picture, 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 journaling. In that case, we can do a little bit of our embellishing over here on the title. Maybe come down here and then up here at the corner of this photo. Now, this is one way to do it. You could also mirror this page, which is kind of hard to show because if I were to flip this around, rotate it, it's still the same layout. But if I were to mirror this page, so I'm gonna pretend like I've mirrored it. Just pretend like this bottom half is down here. And if you're going to do this, it may make sense to make sure that whatever scraps you're using here on the sides match up so that this looks like one continuous strip of paper connecting one page to the next. Because as you can see, this looks a little messy. This would be a great place to put in some journaling or also maybe even another photo overlapping part of it. And then down here you would have the same with your bars, your strips of paper here, and then your photos here. Now, which do you guys like of the layouts I've done today? Do you like the sweet memories with the oranges and the popsicles? Or do you like the page I did with the journaling with the stripes and blue? In my head, I thought that I would like this one so much more, but I think it came out a little busy. I'll have to see once I get photos down and get my embellishments down. It might come to life for me. So right now, I am making a loud and proud decoration that I love the oranges with the sweet summer memories. All right, what did you guys think of that hybrid video? I had a lot of fun creating. I had a lot of fun finding scraps and making them work. I think that just goes to show that you guys can do this too. And it's a way of, you know, getting more bang for your buck out of your scrapbooking materials. I also want to say, guys, I've already cleaned up. I've put away the tools I've used. I put away my extra scrap papers. Look at me, that's like 2 weeks in a row that I'm officially a big girl, so yay! I'm so lame. Anyways, if you guys were listening to the video, I was actually able to declare a favorite. Did you guys agree with my favorite? The thing is, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, like, they end up looking a lot better on camera, so I don't know. I'm reserving my right to change my mind. One thing I didn't talk about with my second spread is that I welded this spread together too. So do you guys do a lot of welding? I like to do it sometimes when I'm trying to make my paper last. Oh man, I just remembered. You guys remember when I did that 13-inch cutting mat hack where I put the photo corners in the back? Someone had suggested that that would be a great way to get your welds straight. I can't believe I forgot that. I could have used that instead of like freaking out over making sure they're touching and pulling and whatever. If you guys use the mat hack to get your welds, great. If you eyeball it like I did today, great. There is no wrong way to do this. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have some good news. I'm hoping, I feel like I keep saying this, which is super lame. I've got my in-person dates finally finalized with my hotel space and my husband, so those should be going up on my website today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because I got a lot of like PTA parenting things to do today. But if you are interested in coming to any of my events, make sure you check out my Square site. That is where I list them all, and it's how you can register. Easy peasy lemon breezy. Or is it squeezy? Are you guys lemon breezy or lemon squeezy? I digress. Anyways, if you guys ever want to get in touch with me, make sure you follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I try and post daily content there, and that personal message or that direct message is the best way to reach me one-on-one. Last but not least, I am always looking for new team members, and I'm always happy for you guys to shop for my link. You can find out more information about both of those opportunities on my Creative Memories website. So that's www.creativememories.com/cm/AshleyRush. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. I know I've got some video requests coming up that came from my 2K giveaway live video. So I've got a couple of those working. So if there's anything else you guys would like to see as far as video content, leave me a comment or message me and I will work on it. Alright guys, I will see you all again next week. Bye!